Hello, everybody. My name is Patrick Walsh, and today I will be discussing mental health stigma and why it is important in students, especially. This is a brief overview of my presentation with numbers and their corresponding topics. Suicide is the third leading cause of death in those aged 15 to 29 years old. Self-choice is the third leading cause of death for those 15 to 29 years old. And globally, 1 in 7 10 to 19-year-olds experience a mental health disorder. But before I start, who am I and what is my credibility? I'm a student at Northern Highlands Regional High School, currently in my senior year. I'm a 17-year-old. I fit in the age bracket that we were just discussing, and so do many of you. And I've witnessed firsthand in my peers and my friends mental health disorders and even attempted suicide. And I'm sure as high school alumni and college students, you've seen this in at least peers too. What are some reasons for mental health problems in students? The first is academic decline. Academic pressure is reported as the number one cause of student anxiety. And according to the Lancet Child and Adolescent Health Journal, teens who focused on learning and personal development had lower rates of depression and anxiety than teens who focused solely on performance. Number two is conflict with peers and even sometimes teachers. Although parents may think of physical violence when they hear the word bullying, there are several ways teens can feel victimized by their peers that impact their mental health. Some of which include rude gestures, name-calling, exclusion, the spreading of gossips or rumors, constant negative teasing, and especially cyberbullying. Our third reason is isolation. Positive social interactions among teens lead to healthier development and lower risk of developing mental health problems such as depression. Lastly, social media. Teens who spend more time on social media may struggle with face-to-face interactions, have lower self-esteem, and set unrealistic expectations for themselves based on what they see online, something many of us have done. Moving to the statistics. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, around 40% of students across the U.S. struggle with a mental health disorder, and 2 in 10 students, 20% of students, seriously considered attempting suicide, and nearly 1 in 10, more so 9%, attempted suicide. So, now that we see that this is a serious problem, what can schools do? Well, 95% of schools have at least one type of mental health outreach, and unfortunately, this includes assemblies. And while assemblies are great, you cannot expect an assembly to get you to a healthy environment free of mental stress. And as many of you know, you go to an assembly, sure you feel motivated, you feel educated right after, but 20 minutes later, when everyone stops talking about it, all that disappears. But schools can provide comprehensive school-based mental health services, which is partnering with licensed counselors, social workers, or mental health professionals, and which will provide prevention, early identification, and treatment services, on-site support, increase access, reduce stigma, and allow quicker intervention before mental health problems worsen. Next, they can train staff in mental health awareness and response. This allows staff to recognize early warning signs, such as changes in behavior, mood, and attendance. This also includes programs such as youth mental health first aid, used to increase this confidence in the staff. They can also implement social and emotional learning, SEL curricula. This teaches students skills for emotional regulation, empathy, problem-solving skills, and healthy relationships. But why? This helps develop resilience and equips students to manage stress, conflict, and challenges more effectively. Lastly, schools can cultivate a safe, supportive, and inclusive school climate. Schools should foster environments where students feel accepted, safe to express their concerns, and connected to adults and peers, who are ultimately going to be the ones helping them. So let's look at what I call a model school, Northern Highlands Regional High School. What does Northern Highlands Regional High School have? Well, we have a wellness department. And when talking to a bunch of my friends from Ramsey, I was shocked to find they don't have anything like this. And then so on and so forth. I kept talking to other friends at other schools, and very few of them had something like this. The wellness department is a department in the school that has certified counselors and many resources to help students. It is easy to make appointments, and you can make appointments via just walking into the office, online on the website, emailing a counselor, or emailing a counselor. There are trained professionals, and these are not just guidance counselors, they are trained pediatric psychiatrists with experience. My school also does school assemblies. Every school does school assemblies from what I've read on mental health, which is very great, but as I said before, not the only thing we should be doing. My school has every 2 semesters, mental health speakers come in, and many of the times it's our own wellness department giving us a speech, making sure their existence is known and how easy it is for students to schedule appointments. Sometimes the wellness department even organizes speakers outside of the school to come in and talk about personal experiences. And in my school's health curricula, we have yearly projects in health class. No matter the grade, mental health is brought up in the form of a group project, usually looking into the different aspects of a student's mental health. My conclusion. So let's review my main points. We looked at statistical facts and the dangers about mental health relative to students. We looked at how mental health is dealt with in schools today. And then we looked at what I call a model school when it comes to mental health, Northern Highlands Regional High School and its wellness department. So what's your call to action? I want students to advocate for change in their school environment if they feel mental health is not talked about and there's a stigma in their school. And now to end, I would like all of you to think back on your high school experiences if you are not currently in high school, and think of the available resources you had, as well as what your high school could have done better in providing you. That is my presentation. Thank you.